All right, so you're looking to make that big jump from team member to team leader? Well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to build your personal playbook for becoming a successful manager. Basically, a set of go-to strategies that'll guide you on your path to leadership. Okay, let's dive right in. It's a huge question, isn't it? I mean, maybe you're already the go-to person on your team, the one everybody looks to for answers. But does that automatically mean you're ready to make that leap into a formal management role? Let's dig in and find out. Being a manager is so much more than just getting a new title on your email signature. It's really about developing a whole new mindset, a completely new set of skills. So think of this as your guide to putting together that playbook, one essential play at a time.
Okay, our very first play is all about understanding the world you're operating in. See, before you can lead a team effectively, you have to master the environment, and that means learning to read the political landscape of your organization. Let's just start with a fundamental question here. Do you think there's any workplace, anywhere on Earth, that is totally free of politics? A place where every single decision is 100% logical and every interaction is completely straightforward.
The answer is a clear and resounding yes. Politics are a basic part of any organization where people work together. So the key isn't trying to avoid them. Trust me, that's impossible. It's learning how to navigate them. It's kind of like a delicate dance that requires tact, diplomacy, and a whole lot of flexibility. And listen, the stakes for ignoring this stuff are incredibly high. This isn't just about avoiding a few awkward conversations. We're talking about real consequences to your career, your performance reviews, your chances for promotion, even your salary. It all depends on your ability to understand these dynamics.
So how do you even start to read the political landscape? Well, you begin by understanding the organizational culture. This is the unwritten rulebook. It's that system of shared meanings that tells you what really gets rewarded and what gets punished. Does the company value bold risks or slow and steady consistency? Knowing this is the lens you have to look through for all your decisions.
All right, so once you get a feel for the environment, your playbook needs some action plays. And this brings us to the absolute core of what a manager does every single day. Making decisions, solving problems, and setting goals that are actually clear and compelling. Now, not all decisions are created equal. You've got your routine calls, right? The stuff that's pretty straightforward, where you can rely on what's worked before. But then you have the really tough ones, the creative decisions for problems you've never seen before. This, right here, is where great managers really earn their stripes. So how do you get better at that creative part? Well, the good news is creativity isn't some kind of magic. It's a skill you can actually develop. And it all starts with your mindset. Just believing you can be creative opens up new ways of thinking. From there, it's about pushing boundaries, trusting your gut, and, most importantly, having the courage to turn those fresh ideas into real-world action. I absolutely love this saying because it just perfectly captures why goals are so critical. I mean, think about it. Without a clear destination, your team is just drifting. There's no direction, no unity, no way to even know if you're winning. As a manager, your job is to provide that destination. So how do you set goals that actually get results? You use a proven system, and the gold standard for that is the SMART framework. Seriously, this isn't just a suggestion. It's an absolutely critical tool for any aspiring manager who wants to turn chaos into clear, focused action. Let's break this down piece by piece. A goal has to be specific, no vague stuff. Instead of saying improve customer service, you say reduce average ticket response time. See? It also has to be measurable so you know exactly when you've hit the target. Reduce it to under 4 hours. Then it needs to be attainable. I mean, be ambitious, for sure, but keep it grounded in reality. It must be relevant to the bigger picture for your team and the company. And finally, it has to be time-bound, with a clear deadline to create that focus and urgency, something like by the end of Q3. Okay, so you can read the room, you've got the skills to make tough decisions, but none of that matters without the most important part of the playbook, leadership. A manager gets things done through other people, so this final section is all about your people play. This brings us to a really crucial distinction about where your power comes from. See, every manager has authority. They hand that to you with the job title. But here's the secret. Authority alone is almost never enough. Real leadership comes from influence, which is your ability to persuade and inspire people to want to follow you. That's the power you really need to build. And what's the engine that drives influence? It's emotional intelligence, or EI. It's this whole collection of personal skills that allows you to understand and manage emotions, not just your own, but those of others too. And in today's workplace, with all the pressure and demands, EI isn't a soft skill anymore, it's a survival skill.
You'll find that people with high emotional intelligence share these key traits. They're self-aware enough to manage their own reactions. They've got the empathy to truly connect with their team. They're responsive to what others need, and they're grounded in reality. This combination is what turns a manager into a true leader.
Whew, we've covered a lot of ground here, reading the landscape, mastering core skills, and leading through people. You now have the framework for your own personal management playbook. So, the only question left is, what's your next move?
And just remember, this journey is not going to be a straight line. There will be twists, turns, and a lot of unexpected challenges. But with a solid playbook in your hands, you'll be ready to navigate whatever comes your way.
We've built the framework together, but now it's your turn to put it into practice. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Looking at everything we've talked about, what's the very first play you're going to run?